Well, they're really right now. From what I've been able to research and read about in this area, because my wife struggles with mental illness. She has clinical depression and high anxiety, and it came on the heels of 2.5 years ago, summer, where she tried to commit suicide, and it took me and my family, my children. It put us in a complete fog. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have any resources. I didn't know where to go and how to cope with this. To me, that was the place where I was. I've been in ministry for over 20 years, and that's, to me, that was the only resource. However, the church, especially the one that I belong to, were not ready to handle those kinds of situations. They handle every other thing under the sun in terms of coping with individuals that are hurting, that are healing. I often refer to my church and most churches basically as a hospital. Hope to me is it's really a path and a light that God's put me on. He opens the doors and He closes them for me. And in my place of desperation, when my wife got sick, I really needed direction, and I really needed hope. And so it's been a path. It's been 2 years, but as long as I have God in my life. And as long as I have a support system that helps supports me, along with the passion that I have, because my passion is really from God to help those individuals that struggle, compared to dealing with my wife, my partner of life. The dynamic's different. With my wife, there's an intimacy there that's God given. There's a partnership there for life, and I'm not taking anything away from the adult children or even children who struggle with mental illness. They're the offspring of marriage. You love them and you care for them and you help them. You do. But in my situation, and I thank God that I don't have my children struggling with mental illness. It's my wife who struggles with mental illness, and her. Being in recovery it's a new normal. I've learned to go from a normal way of life with my wife to a whole new normal because of mental illness being in our life. My appeal to the masses and to the world and to your audience is that we're to help one another. That's our commission from God. Christ gave us that. He put it in our hearts.
That's right.
To help those that are less fortunate. And when it comes down to your loved ones, to your wife or to your children, that you don't stop. You don't throw up the white flag. You don't walk down the path with your head down. You got to have and ask for passion from God so that you break through some of these barriers, because there are barriers out there, and some of them are difficult. The thing that drives me and motivates me are the faces of the spouses, the caregivers that I am in support group with every day. It just motivates me. You gotta turn despair, into aspirations. You gotta turn frustrations into motivations. And don't stop. My appeal to everyone is don't stop. When the challenges get tough, you gotta get tougher, because that's the only way you're gonna give hope and peace, and this joy that God gives to you and the loved one that's struggling with mental illness.
That is beautiful.